Do you want to know what my favorite part of Monster Brand Energy is?
Absolutely not.
I could just set my 20-sided die right on the top and it won't fall in the hole. Now, if I try that with a 4-sided die, it goes right in.
See, that's your four-sided die is stuck in the can of Monster now, and you can't get it out, right?
I will get it out after I finish drinking it, but there does go my Wizards of the Coast Amonkhet 4-sided die.
Wait, there was a four-sided die for the Amonkhet pre-release? Why was there a four-sided die?
Or 3-sided, I'm not sure.
3-sided die.
It looks like a pyramid. It's a rectangular pyramidal.
Oh, that's why they did it, because it's the whole Egyptian theme. Got
Ted,
it.
I don't think any of the things that you stated just now were true.
Want to know what the best part of this is? My Monster Energy can is now like a spray paint can.
How?
Because it's got the little thing in there. It's got the baby teeth in there. You can shake it around and shit.
What the What?
I want to play D&D and stop this nightmare conversation.
You people are savages. You've never heard of that.
No, absolutely not. Do the intro. I'm sick of sniping the intro out from you every week.
Can I leave, please?
No. Do the intro, Ted.
All right, so this is Revival, a Dungeons & Dragons real play podcast. We just beat up a wyvern.
We?
Team effort. Good hustle. And last you saw, a bunch of locusts were coming out of the wyvern den with alongside a big old pillar of light as they begin to blot out the sky that was already dark, but it's just kind of like even the moonlight is getting destroyed. Just entirely black.
I mean, that sounds like some religious stuff.
Yeah, it does.
Which means Elias is, I'm completely unconcerned with this. I'm a little concerned. I'm more concerned the fact that I just, single-handedly took down a wyvern.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
and now standing on top of its lifeless corpse.
So, now as you get a better look at this wyvern, right before everything goes more or less dark, you do notice that the tail has a long, scorpion-like stinger. And in fact, so do these massive locusts.
I mean, that's probably fine. That's nothing.
Can I actually go over and see if I can get some venom out of that, put it into a vial for later?
Is that what you're going to do while a unimaginably large horde of locusts are starting to swarm all around the general area?
See, now I thought they were flying away. I'm not gonna walk through a horde of locusts for some venom. I can get venom anywhere.
No, they're spewing out endlessly from this hole and are blotting out the sun as well as flying past you guys. They're darting into the grasses. You hear the screams of various animals. Shit's going south. So now, Jerry, what are you doing here?
So what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to signal to everyone to gather around me.
Nah, I'm gonna stay down, duck and cover.
All right, I'm going to signal for everyone to get out of the grass and to get on the road.
You are on the road.
Okay.
That was easy.
Yeah, look. You can look at the map and see where we're at. I'm going to take cover underneath one of the wyvern's wings, actually.
Okay.
I'm going to try and clear the locust horde out by setting the field ablaze.
No.
You again.
Do it.
So
I'm yelling. I see Jerry going to light up to I'll clear out this. He's got fire in his hands, right? I'm screaming above the din of the locusts. No. I'm gonna run out and grab his hand and stop him.
What else should we do here?
Not light the whole place on fire, Jerry. These things explode. We'll die.
Well, so
maybe John, this seems to be your area of expertise. There's a cave, a light, there's locusts. I don't know very much about prophecies or things, but from what you've told us before, this seems to fit the bill. Maybe we should, do something about this.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's in there somewhere.
There is no way that is in character. Is it the yawn?
No, I'm tired. So John's
Yes.
tired. He's had a long fight. He wants a nap.
Maybe John's got a little bit of adrenaline from fighting a wyvern, and now there's locusts and like religious shit going on. Maybe just a little bit.
Maybe a little bit.
We'll pep in your step.
He'll get around to it.
All right. So, Elias is looking for you to direction.
That's
Well,
the first
do.
mistake.
Trying to convince. Well, number two, if Ari lights this field on fire, my prized wyvern corpse is gonna get all crispy, and I don't want that.
Right.
I need this for things.
This does look like some religious stuff. If there's one of them holy relics around here, it'll probably be in that cave.
Elias, I don't think the swamp is the safest place for us to take cover. Maybe we should go in that cave.
Well,
Patton, John, follow me.
I do the thing.
All right. So, upon doing this, are you guys actually, you're just running straight for the cave?
I mean,
I'm gonna like crawl towards the cave.
you guys.
Is the earth
Okay,
full of
I'll
locusts?
stand watch out here. I'll stay outside. You guys
You're
can
just
go into
gonna
the
stay
cave.
underneath the wyvern?
Yes. Yes, I'm
I
not
mean-
leaving my trophy.
Okay, this works. So,
Yeah,
it's
Locust might
basically
need
a reverse waterfall. You know, like going up, but with locusts. You know, if you've ever seen bats swarming out of a cave, it's kind of like that. You have to get low if you want to get underneath them. And you are going to get several jabs and stings as you make your way down into the black, murky abyss.
Okay, can I
Wow,
do
this
something
sure
while we're
is
running to
agonizing.
try and like see if I can siphon some mana from these locusts? Do some warlock shit?
Sure.
Try
All
to
right.
replenish yourself a bit.
Yeah. And also just like kind of clear a path since they're going for me.
Okay.
And would that be Arcana?
Sure.
All right. Let's roll that shit. 16.
Okay, on a 16, right? You reach out with your like with a couple of those shadowy tendrils that you got, and
Yeah.
attempt to drain the life force from some of these things. And the second you do so, agonizing, horrible pain.
That seems to happen to Jerry a lot.
He keeps sticking those tendrils places he probably shouldn't.
Probably shouldn't.
Ew.
So, you at this point, it's fairly steep going down into this little cavern. Giron is going to lose his footing and is going to just start tumbling down as John and Patton, I'm assuming Patton, you're actually going down there with them, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna follow him in there.
You're going to see Giron disappear into the darkness as he
Just all of a sudden
falls
just
and falls,
smack-
and you
Oh.
do not hear an impact.
Oh, shit.
That's
Well,
not
this
good.
looks familiar. Oh boy.
All right, Patton,
do I see
what are you
anything
doing?
in any of my other if I swap between the different modes, do I see any remnants of Jerry? Is he still falling down there?
You see him vanish from sight from your heat sensor, and then you see immediately you switch thermal, night vision, and on night vision, just immediately, directly in front of your face, for just, a split second, you see the smiling face of that woman from the Tenali facility. But you're flipping through all of the features, and then you cycle back to it. She's gone. But she looked like she had a very warm, heartfelt smile on her face, like a comforting smile.
All right. So how big is this this pit that Jerry just fell into?
So the passage is fairly narrow. Are you in front of or behind John as you're crawling down?
I'm in front of John right now.
Okay, so the footing gets harder and harder to see as even with your night vision, it's getting very difficult. It's very steep, very rocky, and at a certain point, you see that it's just a sheer cutoff, and it's a perfect circular pit
Oh boy.
that you stand at the precipice of.
And this is where Geron just fell into?
Presumably.
Oh boy.
You look down
Oh,
and
boy,
you
Jerry.
see nothing.
Okay. So I'm gonna see if I can send Lil Bro down there.
Okay,
to
what are you
see
doing?
if
You might want
so
to
this'll
talk
be,
to John.
And John, I'm gonna send Lil Bro down there. I think Jerry just fell down this pit. I'm gonna say this, like light a flare, like attach it to Lil Bro's like underside, so we get some light down there.
So this entire time, out from this pit, the locusts are still coming out. And it's just a massive din. It's almost impossible to hear each other. And the second you light the flare, you just see these things shine. Like they've got like these golden faces. You know, like these insectile golden faces. And the flare just reflects off of them and immediately overloads that night vision that you got. Pretty painful.
Probably should have turned that off first.
Right, so
I'll switch back to normal if I can.
Yeah, with the flare on, it's like the flare's light does not reach this hole.
Ooh.
That looks like the abyss there. Jerry might have fallen into a bottomless pit.
Oh boy. Well, I'm sending Lil Bro down anyway to see how far I can get him down there to see if we can get Jerry, give him anything.
Okay.
Any kind of assistance there. I don't want Jaron to fall into another Jerry verse or something.
So, you send down Lil Bro, and I'm assuming you've got, like, the camera feed
Yeah.
hooked up for you. So, you send him down, and you get nothing. And then, all at once, you get what looks to be in, like, fast forward. Just this blur of images that you can't even parse. And it just starts screaming past your face. The camera feed seems to be basically nonsensical. You can vaguely make out Giron in it, but it looks like it's in massive fast forward.
Like everything's just flying by, stuff's a blurs, it's going so fast.
It doesn't look good for him, though. You can't quite make out what's happening, but it doesn't look good.
I'll see if I can bring Lil Bro over to like in the general area I think Jerry's in, see if I can nudge him with it and give him like kind of like a log in like a river, you know, something to grab onto to see if he can kind of cement himself in a certain place. Something that's hopefully he doesn't see Lil Bro flying at like super fast, mega fast forward speeds. I hope I don't like crash into him or something like that. But we'll see.
Not quite.
I'll try and move
So,
Lil Bro.
So as you do that, Giron,
Yeah.
welcome back. You're in New York.
Oh, that's cool. That's good.
Oh. Oh no. This is not good for my show. I don't want to be here anymore. This place sucks.
You've fallen into hell and ended up in New York.
Very accurate.
Isn't this just too on the nose? Shouldn't he be in New Jersey?
Yeah. No, that would be too on the nose. Apologies to any of our listeners who live in New Jersey. Not that we're making fun of New Jersey, but that you live
I
in New
am.
Jersey.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
That's the unfortunate bit. So, the first thing that you're going to notice immediately is just out from your coat. You feel like some extra weight on you, and underneath that coat, as you look down, lining the inside of the coat are these locusts.
Oh, that's good.
Oh.
And they just start
no.
stabbing the ever-loving shit out of you. You were
I never
expecting
asked
like
for
some
this.
flowery language? No, they just start stabbing the fuck out of you.
Now you can light yourself on fire, Jerry.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay, you set the coat on fire, nothing.
Oh,
It
great.
is not affecting them in the slightest.
Well, aren't you glad you didn't set the fucking fields on fire now?
Yeah.
Are they just like lining the jacket and like stuck to them now?
Yeah.
Okay, because if I was you, I'd take that jacket off and just start smacking it on the ground.
So, the first thing that you notice is it's night. The streets are empty. What are you going to do for the first couple of weeks that you're here?
Oh, fuck. It's one of these.
So
nights.
there's no one else here.
So what's your game plan going forward? Give me like a big picture game plan.
Well, first things first, got to get these locusts to either stop causing me pain or just get rid of them.
How long would you spend on that before you give up?
How long would Jerry spend on that?
Yeah.
2 weeks.
That's a good question.
He can't physically remove them.
He cannot. The question is how long he spends trying until he figures that out.
Probably about 10 minutes.
Okay.
Really? I would spend I'm just thinking if I was covered in horrific.
Well, think of if you had magical capabilities and you were cycling through everything you can do to get rid of them.
No, yeah,
10
that
minutes is
makes
long
sense.
enough to try
10
a bunch of
minutes
stuff.
of being stabbed by scorpion locusts is like a long ass time.
So what I'm going to try and do here is I'm going to try and put myself in stasis to where they just stop.
Okay.
And I can also just not feel anything and wait for hopefully Pat or John to come rescue me because I can't really do anything at this point. Oh.
You see the dust around you stop, they don't. These things are a part of you now.
I'm going to... Okay, so I'm in New York.
Yes.
I'm going to try and get underground just in case there's more locusts. So I'm going to look for the nearest subway tunnel.
Okay. So, you search all night for a subway tunnel. All of them that you attempt to find are just filled to the brim with rubble. Inaccessible. After you don't even know how long the sun has not come up. You find one, you go down into it, and you just see filling up these subway cars, these dilapidated subway cars, you just see them packed full of people similarly covered in locusts, just shuffling about in the cars.
What would Jerry reasonably know about smoke's effects on locusts?
Well, from the 10 minutes, that it probably doesn't work.
I mean, wouldn't smoke be something that you tried in the initial 10 minutes?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, get this though. Lots of smoke.
Here's one thing you could try. You could get down on your hands and knees, try not to cry, and then cry a lot.
Have you tried telling them to stop politely?
Yeah. Did you ask nicely?
Okay, so what I'm going to try and do then is if I fell in here, maybe if Patton and John are a bit more sure-footed than I was, they'll be able to follow a trail. So I'm going to try and get a signal fire and get smoke back up the cave, even though it doesn't look like I'm in the cave. I've got to still be in the cave.
Okay. Sure, you light the signal fire. So, are you going to shuffle deeper into the subway mines here?
Doesn't look like I can get very far because everything's packed with
There is an
rubble.
open track.
I'm going to wait until I find out if Patton and John are going to come help me because I don't think I should venture deeper alone.
How long are you going to wait?
3 days.
3 days? Nothing.
Wow.
And the entire time that you're there, you just hear the shuffling masses pleading, begging at something to just die.
All right.
They haven't eaten anything. You haven't eaten anything. You haven't drank anything. But you're exactly the same as you were.
All right. This is really odd. I guess I'm just going to venture into the tunnel because I'm getting bored at this point.
Bored?
Bored?
I thought you were in agony.
Yeah.
You can be bored and in agony.
I
At some
disagree.
point, you have to just deal with the agony.
Just pretend you're not being stabbed.
I
by
am a
scorpions.
warlock, you know. This
Yes.
shit happens a lot.
Elias was a smart boy and didn't go into the cave.
So, as you, we'll get to you.
No, fuck off.
The wyvern wakes up.
So,
Good, I'll kill it again.
So you wander down the tunnel, and where we'll leave Giron is you see a bright light at the end of the tunnel, and you feel cold all over, and a sense of imminent dread and doom. So, Elias,
I'm feeling pretty good. Feeling
you're
good, Coach.
hiding underneath the wyvern, right?
Yeah, one of the wings.
Okay. So, you're going to feel the wyvern move to shuffle, as you're going to see a large number of these locusts swarm into the wyvern's mouth.
No, I need that. I'm using it for stuff.
Okay, so what are you going to do?
What, so there's a bunch of locusts swarming into the wyvern's mouth. Is the wyvern dead, or is it back
Dead.
alive again?
It's
still dead?
Yeah, they're
Alright,
just, it's starting to shuffle because of the locusts.
Okay, so, well, the locusts are doing their thing. There's way too many of them for me to risk pissing off a hive, and I am a biologist, so I know that even if these things are like some kind of magical religious bullshit, you don't throw rocks at a hive at like a swarm of wasps when you're inside the swarm. So I'm just gonna, I'm gonna try and cut the wing off of this, like some of the webbing, if I can, like a large amount of it, to wrap myself in.
Okay. So you hack off a good part of the webbing, cover yourself in it, and that does a good job of shielding yourself from the stings.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for here.
So what you're going to see, though, as these locusts swarm into this thing, is that the wyvern's head is going to be consumed by the locusts. Then you're going to see it shift and morph, start to glow golden. And then you're going to see a gaunt, orcish face, bushy beard, streaks of gray, swollen, sullen, sunken eyes, and
Oh, it's John's grandfather.
No,
Really?
yeah,
I would have
don't like
laughed
that.
really hard if he said no. No, I'm just fucking with you.
yes, and then a golden knit beanie on top of it. This is the face of Abaddon. You know, the guy
Whoa.
who stabbed you guys.
Oh, yeah.
That
As,
guy.
He's going to turn, look to the sky, and just say, "Woe, woe unto the men of the earth and every living thing. You shall seek death, and you shall not find it."
I'm gonna roll perception because I think that this seems very implausible for reality, and I think that given all of the like weird displacer shit that we've been dealing with, that this might be some kind of illusion or some kind of bullshit, and somebody's in my head. Is that okay? I can roll perception for that, right?
Yeah.
That would be a 31.
Okay. On a 31? Yeah, none of this is real.
Yeah, I fucking knew it.
This is a waking nightmare. This is definitely something induced
Mm-hmm.
and seems pretty similar to, the previous trials and things.
Yeah, I'm going to reach out to Mavala Jr. through our shared bond to see if I can borrow some of the latent displacer beast, like, fuck with reality stuff to see if I can get a glimpse. Maybe not, I won't be able to break out completely, but maybe I can get a glimpse of what's going on.
Okay.
So roll nature, I think.
Yep, sure.
All right, that'll be a 25.
Okay. On a 25, you're going to attempt to get your, commune with nature and communicate with your displacer beast friend.
Correct.
You're going to see through the cloud of locusts, Mavala Jr. come sprinting towards you. Grab you with those little tendrils, and run off into, and you're gonna get dragged off into the thistle fields.
All right, I'm gonna grab Specky.
It's panicked.
And wrap us both in this makeshift dragon skin cloak or wyvern skin cloak.
Yes.
And I'm gonna go ahead and get pulled along by Mavala Jr.
Okay, so you're going to do that, and then all of a sudden, everything is clear, everything is sunny, everything is nice. You're back home.
I feel even more not at ease. By back home, you mean not on the rock anymore.
Correct.
And mentally speaking, how is this affecting me? Do I feel like
you feel a strong sense of your immediate gut feeling is that sense of fake nostalgia that you get when you see something old that you didn't personally experience. Like if you just now watched the original original RoboCop or something. This must be nostalgic to someone, but it's not you.
Yeah, I'm going to take a small penknife out of my pocket and stab myself in the thigh.
Okay.
Well, okay.
Edgy.
Well, no, because this is some bullshit tuned to my to my memories and stuff. So all I got to do is do something weird, something unexpected, because whatever this is trying to fuck with my memories. So this should be weird enough that it might kick me out for a couple seconds, so I can try and get a bearing.
Right. So you do that. You go to stab your leg. Your hand stops. The blade impacts your skin and it curls.
Yeah, it's not good.
You see a grouping of the locusts arrange themselves in front of you and simply say, "You won't escape that easily."
Right.
As we cut back to Patton.
Oh, I had more things to do.
Right. So you've sent out Lil Bro, right?
After Jerry, yeah.
Yeah. At a certain point, you lose feed. You lose connection.
Uh-oh.
Camera feed's cut. You've still got the data of the footage, but you're not getting any new footage.
Oh, no. No, my little boy's down there. Oh, no.
No worries about Jerry, but what about my robot?
Also, your head hurts.
Well, that's pretty natural at this point.
No, but I mean, that's sort of searing migraine. You got a lot of data upload in a very short amount of time.
All right. I want to see if I can play it back, but slow it down in my own playback. Play the recording at 0.25 speed.
Oh no, yeah. The recording, when you go to access it, it's at normal speed. There's 5 months of footage.
Oh no. What was the last thing I saw and it was did I see New York? Did I see Jerry's signal fire? Anything like that?
The very last thing that you see is a frame of, right in front of the wyvern corpse, you see Abaddon in his human, orc-ish form, looking directly at the camera.
Uh-oh. So it just cut right from New York to that, and then that was the last thing that the camera saw before it... Okay.
Hard cut.
Alright, I want to look around the room here and see if there's anything else, because otherwise, I'm not gonna like it, but I'm gonna jump down there to go after Jerry and my little boy, my son.
Okay, so looking around the outside rim of this pit, you do see several passages down deeper into the cave that yet more locusts are coming from. and funneling through. It seems like some sort of network for them to go through other small cave openings. They seem to curve mostly upward.
All right, John, do you have like a knife on you real quick? I want to see if we can go in deeper into this cave, but I want to mark it so that we know our way out, so we don't get lost forever in this locust cave.
Do you not have a knife?
I do, but do you have one? Because I don't want to damage my knives.
What a piece of shit!
Well,
Patton, what the fuck?
I hand him one of my knives.
All right, so I'll just go ahead and mark like an X on the floor, like a big X from where we entered this one, and I'm gonna kind of stick to the side of the wall so the locusts aren't hitting me in the face, and head deeper into just one of them chosen at random. I'll go with the middle one.
You don't have anything like smelly or like glowy, some kind of concoction you could dab on the walls or some shit like that?
Oh, I can dab, all right.
Yeah, shut up.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I realized what I had said seconds after it left my mouth. I knew you wouldn't be able to resist.
Okay, so I'm just gonna take kind of a paste that I got here. It's the Spelunker Debunker. If you're confused about where you're gonna be, you can debunk the wrong locations. It's in one of the question mark journals.
This isn't patent pending?
No, not yet. As you can tell by the subpar name, it's just kind of a bluish glow, so that I can see it from far away. Because I'm just using this to mark my way, so that if I'm at the end of the hallway, I can see it and be able to track my progress. Because I'm going to put this in each mark as we go further into the cave.
Okay. So, you go down one tunnel, right?
Mm-hmm.
It starts to get pretty narrow to the point where you need to, like, shuffle sideways. It's a pretty tight squeeze. It begins to narrow back out a bit, but it's very, very damp in here. Pitch black. And you open into this room as you flick over your various settings, right? Thermal doesn't work. Just nothing. Pure nothing. As you flick on night vision, the scene before you could only be described as Patton's own personal hell.
Once he switches over to the night vision there, he kind of gets hit by this noxious smell. There's a lot of... it looks like... they're kind of like beds. It looks like there's vaguely humanoid shapes on them, and every single one of them looks like they're in immense pain. They're writhing. It's absolutely filthy. Mm-hmm. And every single one of these people look like they're in intense pain. And when I try to get close to one of them, they keep pushing me back, not letting me get close to them. I'm unable to get in to assist them in any kind of way. I just have to sit here and kind of watch.
So, as you see this triage open up before you, you see just scorpion stings all over these people. A nurse whose form you can't make out. Just like blackness and shadow, no face over the hospital gown. Mm-hmm. Is just going to be screaming at you, Dr. Nordstrom, help them! We're losing the patients!
I keep trying to, like, go to each individual patient. As one pushes me away, I try and go to the next. As that one starts, like, flailing, ripping IVs out of his skin. I try and get close. He keeps pushing me away. Keeps trying to... every single one that I get near ends up hurting themselves worse when I get close to try and help them in some way. And I'm just going through this triage trying to help in any way that I can, and it is not working.
Right. One thing of note, though, is the patient's condition is deteriorating, and none of them are dying. You cannot clear the triage. It's just a never-ending stream of more and more of them as your attention and care gets worn thinner and thinner. And John,
That's me.
So, Patton went on through this tight squeeze, went off into this room, and you just hear frantic scurrying, but the squeeze is too tight for you to make.
John's a big boy.
You can't force your way through this squeeze.
Hey, Patton, you alright over there? What's going on?
Nothing.
Well, that ain't good.
Not even an echo.
Alright. I'm gonna try and make my way back to the main room.
Okay. Your eyes have adjusted to the darkness a bit as you see the pit down there. Your options seem to be go down one of the other entrances or jump in the pain hole.
I mean, I want to try and get back to see what's going on with Elias. Because
Please don't call it the pain hole.
Stop. I know where he is. Everyone else disappeared into this cave.
Okay. So, you're going to attempt to climb your way back up out of the cave. It's a lot steeper than you remember coming down. Getting a handhold and a foothold seems to be very difficult as you either get stung immediately upon attempting to grab a rock or it simply crumbles in your hand.
Okay, so I too have disappeared into the cave.
Yep.
And you said I just heard scurrying from where Patton was?
Yeah, just like frantic footsteps. Frantic footsteps and like just occasional noises that maybe sounded like talking.
I'm gonna go back to like the opening of that passage, but still kind of close to the pit, and I'm gonna start praying for my friends.
So you turn back around, right? You look down from the cliff face. It's a lot farther down than you remembered. In fact, as you look out, where are you? You're on a cliff face, but you're not in a cave.
So it's time for John's personal hell then.
Yep.
Okay.
Wouldn't that just be like literal hell?
Could be.
Yes, but what is literal hell?
Well, that's actually an interesting theological
Other
question.
people.
Ooh,
But
damn.
John is in a slightly awkward social situation that he can't bring himself to leave.
Oh God.
Goddamn
Please.
Phyllis is just talking at the water cooler, and he finds himself physically unable to leave as she talks about her cousin's goddamn baby shower for the 5th time.
Alright. So I'm on a cliff, kind of outside in like a dead rocky wasteland. The sky's like a dim red haze.
Yep.
And in the distance, I hear my good friends screaming.
Okay, at the top of the cliff?
No, behind me.
Behind you?
Off somewhere in the wasteland.
Alright, what's at the top of the cliff? Or are you attempting to get down it now?
I was trying to climb back down to get back to my friends.
Okay. Alright then. So, you see directly above you, you see the various members of the congregation that you grew up with. You see them being edged closer to the edge of this cliff by a massive horde of these locusts. At the bottom, you hear the sounds of your friends screaming for your help, and at the top, you see your family getting closer and closer to the edge, about to be pushed off by this horde of locusts. Your grip is getting weaker.
I don't know what to do. So I suppose the only reasonable thing to do would be to freeze up and start panicking.
Okay. So John freezes up and starts panicking. Right? You've been able to get by on a lot of borrowed courage in one way or the other. But this is the first really hard decision that you've had to make. And as you're freezing up, as part of your indecision, You see, hang on, this is going to completely kill the tension, but I forgot someone's name.
Oh no.
Yes. So
My name's Tad.
at the very top of the cliff, getting very close to the edge, you see Elizabeth, the very nice elven girl who, you've known basically your entire life, as she loses her footing and falls.
How far away from me is she?
She's falling a good, 10 feet to your left, and she's coming up on you fast.
I'm going to try to catch her by jumping off the cliff.
Give me an athletics check.
Shit, I don't have my dice. Hang on. I forgot about the rolling part of D&D. That's a 4. So,
What is the total?
15.
15? Okay. So, on a 15, you grab hold of her hand, and then you just see your muscles in your arm weaken, just shrink and revert as your hand trembles and you can't hold on. As she falls. And you can't see the bottom, but you can hear the impact.
I do not like this.
It takes a good 10 seconds plus for the impact to reach you. More of them are getting up close to that edge.
I think
Your friend's screams are getting more pained.
I think we were right in that hell is other people, but it's other people that I care about suffering, and I can't do anything to help them.
All right, so as John is racked with indecision, as another beloved family member gets closer and closer to the cliff, Jiron.
That's me.
So, it's gone from burning to freezing. As you're reminded of those very, very cold New York winters that you occasionally had to spend outside. This is bringing back some old feelings. So, as you walk through the snow in this railroad track, why don't you give me a Arcana check here?
All right. That is a 27.
So, on a 27, you get a brief moment of lucidity as you see just flash in front of you a dim, dingy cave wall. And, it's directly in front of you. You walk right into it, and then you fall forward again into the snow. The locusts were gone for just a second as well.
Okay. So I'm going to realize at this point that it's not real.
Mhm.
And I'm going to agonizingly reach into my coat and pull out my whip and just throw it. And I don't care if it doesn't immediately hit the cave wall. It's going to hit that cave wall eventually. I got a feeling for it.
Okay.
I'm just going to throw it down the tunnel eternally until it hits something.
Okay. So, what do I want that? Give me a bluff check.
Okay.
There goes Jerry, bluffing his own subconscious again.
That's a 26.
Okay. On a 26, right? When you're in, it's real. Right? But those have you ever done that sort of thing where you're awake, but maybe you fell asleep on a train or something and you pinch yourself to make sure that you're not asleep?
Yeah, like doing a reality check.
Right. You do a quick reality check there by throwing your whip. It impacts nothing on the wall. And then you see it unfurl. The whip unfurls, the long chain of it reaches down and you can kind of see an outline of the cave superimposed on this reality. As you see, down underneath the railroad track, there is a fairly large pit that your chain is leading down now.
Okay. So what I'm going to try and do here is I'm going to try and anchor the whip into the ground here and go down the chain
Okay.
just by like using the gloves as protection for the barbed wire for the very attentive listeners. And we're going to go down the pit further because at this point I've realized that the illusion's personalized to me, so I can't really rely on anyone else.
Okay. So as you start climbing down the whip, the locusts disappear, but
Alright.
so does the glowing veins on your chest. You get an immediate and sharp sense of isolation.
Not good. Is my shadow gone?
Yeah. So as you Zep is not here. So as you crawl down, as you start to climb down this tunnel here, on the tunnel walls, you can see the faces of your friends recognizing you and then just turning away. They make a sort of disgusted look and they turn away. And at the very bottom of this pit, you can see Abaddon's face as his voice just reverberates through the tunnel. Sooner or later, they'll get tired of you. You're a novelty. Amusing for a minute, but gone the next.
The truth is timeless.
You're only around because you're useful. But are you even? What do you do for them? It seems like you're a lot of dead weight, for not a lot of gain. Oof. How long are you going to pretend that you're part of something bigger than you are?
Jerry's going to kind of slow down on the whip and just kind of like grab on it tighter, just out of frustration. And I'm going to kind of start sliding down into Abaddon. Just punch him.
Alright, so
He done rattled me.
So you slide down and you're standing on the face now. You feel around and you can't find an obvious exit. But it's just going to keep going with, you're not going to change. There's only so long that the public can root for a villain. And you know that's what you are. You can play at being a hero. You can play at doing things for the right reason. But do you even believe that you're doing the right thing?
The right thing is what I see fit. If it gets me what I want, and maybe I care about some people. If I help them, that's what I want, and I see that as the right thing. Who cares what other people think? If they find it interesting and they tune in, that's all I need.
So, that's what it comes down to then? Pure ego?
Pure ego and being entertaining, buddy. You might want to work on your chops there. Your promos are lacking.
You say entertaining. Do you see anybody watching? They're not here. They're not listening.
I'm going to kind of just feel out and look around. I'm assuming that the hole I went into has gotten bigger and it's like been sealed off, sort of.
Mm-hmm. So you see the handle of your whip fall down, and as it clangs into the bottom of the hole, you're alone, Giron Thalatak. But this is the way you like it, isn't it? Weren't things so much nicer before you had to pretend to be interesting? Wasn't mediocrity self-fulfilling?
You're wrong, Abaddon. I'm the key to all of this.
Really? Do you really believe that? Because from where I'm standing, it's John.
John's part of it. But the way I see it, he's just like Michael. He's part of this congregation. He's not someone that's different. He's not an X Factor like me.
Really? This is his story. You're one of the side characters. You're the comic relief in his heroic tale. And sooner or later, there's going to come a choice that he's going to have to make. And do you think he's going to extend his hand to save you? If push came to shove, would he save you?
That's the stupidest question I've ever been asked, Abaddon. Of course he would.
Really now?
Yeah. Kind of owes me one. Or two. Or three, as I start falling.
So, John.
That's me.
At the very top of the cliff, you're going to see a weak and frail looking Lazarus inch his way to the cliff, look down at you, close his eyes and fall, and just reach out a hand. And simultaneously on your left, you're going to see Giron falling. Lazarus on your right, Giron on your left.
Okay, I'm going to jump off of the cliff and grab Lazarus and try and take the fall for him.
Okay.
Wow!
Give me an athletics check.
Fucking dragon.
25.
Holy shit!
25? Okay. So, Giron, what you're going to see is Lazarus is falling. John looks at you, looks at Lazarus, and jumps and grabs Lazarus. He puts his arm around him, skids to a halt, and lands, gets a footing on a platform as you coast down.
I'm gonna kind of lie to myself. Oh, that doesn't mean he hasn't saved me. Here's another choice he has to make. My mood is realistically sinking.
So as you slip out of view, John, you see Giron fall. And what's the expression on Giron's face as you make eye contact with John on this platform now, having not saved you?
Just kind of... You know that feeling when it's like, oh yeah, I'll be there on time. And then just everything happens. Like Murphy's Law just goes into effect.
Right.
And you're just proven entirely wrong.
So, John, you're going to see Giron's face go from, cheerful optimism, a look of trust, to as he falls, and as he slips into the darkness and you just see a pillar of flame erupt, you're just going to see a look of sudden realization, and then just, panic and dread as he slips out of view.
This hurts me in a way that no scorpion stingered locust ever could.
It's just a look of pure betrayal. He trusted you, and then he realizes that, oh no, he's not going to save me.
But I had to save Lazarus.
So, Giron, you're going to start falling. And as you're falling, you're just going to hear the voice. You're a side character. You'll fall into obscurity, and no one will remember you.
And with that, we're going to end this episode of Revival, a Dungeons & Dragons real play podcast. You can find us out on all of the links that are in the description: YouTube, iTunes, Google Play. There's a Twitter, there's a Discord, there's a Patreon, all that fun stuff. Just going to be a real quick and concise outro, and we will see you guys on the next episode of Revival, a Dungeons & Dragons real play podcast.